Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sears. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name is Mike Piwowarski, coming to you live from the East Coast. Coast with the most, from the co-host with the most. We're on The Rundown, 2A views, conservative news. Craig, guess what day it is?
Oh, yeah.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's hump day.
Hump day!
It's hump day.
Hump day!
That's right, folks. Today is Hump Day. This is the day in which we attempt to begin the weekend, sometimes with success, sometimes not, but the fun is all in the trying. And Mike, I got to tell you, it's sounding like your mic has already taken off for the weekend.
Is it gone already? All right, hold on. Let me do some adjustments.
Fun stuff. We're always here. We're always having a good time. But Mike, it is good to have you back, man. I missed you yesterday.
Always good to be missed. Say that.
Always good to be missed. I'll tell you what, while he figures that out, I'm going to go ahead and do what you know we always have to do at the beginning of our show, and that is give a quick shout out to our sponsors. We're going to start with Hitman Industries. You can find them at hitmanindustries.net, the top in barrels. That was really easy for me to say. Both pistol caliber and rifle caliber barrels available for you. So if you're looking to do a brand new home build or rebarrel your current rifle, can't think of a better place for you to go than hitmanindustries.net. Then we've got the California Republican Assembly, working to help elect conservatives behind enemy lines here in the state of California. Ronald Reagan once referred to him as the conscience of the Republican Party. You can check them out at cragop.org, cragop.org. If you want to be a part of California's future today, got to join CRA. Then, if you are looking for a holster, the place to go is Hog Holsters. That's HAWG holsters.com, helping Americans wear guns. They have the best in concealed carry tactical holsters available on the market. And by the way, when you go there, just make sure you use discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces, and get a discount on your Hog holster today. And then finally, if you're looking for outdoor gear, camping gear, you're looking for cold weather gear, hot weather gear, wet weather gear, trust me, they have all things tactical except the gun at uscombatgear.com. They have excellent prices. They have a huge selection. Veteran owned and operated. Check them out today, uscombatgear.com. All right, we're going to go ahead and get back here to our good friend, Mr. Piwowarski. And let's see, how's our mic sounding now?
I don't know. How are we doing, Craig? We sound any better?
Oh,
Good today? How are we doing?
You sound marvelous. Simply marvelous.
There we go. Remember, it's not how you sound. It's how you look.
It's how you look, and you look marvelous.
Look marvelous.
Oh, good stuff. All right, folks. Well, interesting stuff going on. Tons of stuff going on. There were so many things that were in the news today. I really had a hard time deciding, what I want to talk about. But I'm really working hard not to have the presidential election be at the top of every story. But I did have to mention at least one of the people involved in that. And that has to be, well, that would happen to be Kamala Harris. And that's because they're dealing with the number one issue, or at least one of the number one issues, and that has to do with immigration. And believe it or not, and I find this hard to believe, we already knew that they were just letting migrants in across the border. We already knew that they were flying them in. What we didn't know was that they were actually negotiating. When I say they, I mean the Biden-Harris administration have actually been negotiating bus rides. I mean, bus rides for illegal immigrants, for people who are asylum seekers, through Mexico, including meals, to come to the United States. They're acting as frigging travel agents. This is being reported now. I wanted to make sure to verify this because some people will say that Breitbart is they're kind of conservative, so you never know. So I made sure to verify it, and sure enough, there was an Associated Press story that said the same thing. Only they, you know how the Associated Press is. They're kind of liberal. Anyway, so it says the latest development between the Biden-Harris administration and the government of Mexico on the immigration front will see migrants provided busing from 2 southern Mexico cities to the United States border. The plan will provide the migrants headed to the United States with meals and security during travel from 2 cities to the U.S. destination, where the migrants' asylum appointments are scheduled under CBP 1 application. The government of Mexico's National Institute of Migration announced the new program in a Spanish language notice issued on Saturday, referring to the initiative as the Secure Emerging Mobility Corridor. The two departure cities in South Mexico will be Villahermosa, Tabasco, and Tapachula, Chiapas. Anyway, all I know is, dude, and this is what gets, I'm like, wait a minute. I thought these folks said they wanted to secure our border. This doesn't, Mike, sound to me like securing our border. This sounds like you're inviting more people to just come on in.
Yeah, absolutely what it sounds like, Craig, but that's why they do it behind the scenes. What it seems like to me, I'm trying to do the math here. Are these the people that are at their rallies? Is that what they're doing? Are they bringing them in to go to the rallies and they make them stand there to get their first checks? I think we know what the problem is. I think we know what's going on here.
Well, and keep in mind, these are people who've downloaded the app. They filled out the app seeking asylum. And instead of making them wait wherever they are while they seek asylum, they're basically inviting them to come into the United States. Once they get here, once they get into the United States, what's to keep them from just disappearing into the United States, into the inner part of the country, and just never showing up for their asylum hearings?
Yeah, nothing. There's nothing to keep them from doing that. In fact, Craig, they give them work permit IDs when they get here as well. So they just let them blend right into the country and into the background.
Well, and that's how they get around this whole, the border is secure. No, when you just let people in, that's not secure. If you want to know whether or not it's secure, how about this? How about the fact that when the Capitol Police just let people in and ushered people into the Capitol, you arrested a bunch of those people who came in.
That's right. Remember, tourism's not a crime.
Yeah. Well, and part of this is, man, and that's one of the reasons why I keep saying I can't blame people for wanting to come here, but I do believe that this whole asylum thing is being misused and abused by the Biden administration. And they're using it. Asylum used to be, I'm trying to get away from this country because I'm in danger. My life is being threatened. I'm a dissident, whatever it is. I need to seek asylum. Instead, it's I don't like where I live and I want to live in the United States, so I seek asylum.
Yeah, listen, the couple of regional ones, right, that we know about. Obviously, Cuba being under the communist dictatorship, Haiti, and the rule, what's going on there in Venezuela. But that's not who the Biden administration is letting in. The Biden administration is letting anyone in that fills out the app. There is no, well, I'm sorry, you don't pre-qualify. You just, you want to come in? Come on in. Get on a bus. Here's some meals. We'll see you at the next rally.
Oh, yeah, and we take their word for who they are. So they could be anybody. And they found, if you go and you watch, I forget his name, but over at Fox News, and he does tons of reports on the border. And he's gone, and you see where they've destroyed and cut up IDs and any identifying documents that they brought with them. They destroy before they cross the border so that you don't really know who they are, and they'll just tell you who they are, and they're in.
Yeah, and who even knows if those IDs were true? Those were their
Right.
escape from where they were IDs. You know.
Well, and yeah, and chances are those were documents that were probably needed in the countries they went through to get to the United States, which is kind of odd that they can go through other countries and they can't get through other countries without that stuff, but somehow they can get into the United States with it without it.
That's it. We're gonna buy your votes.
And that's pretty much what they're trying to do. The Democrats are trying to buy votes.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, school is back in session. And that means our colleges and universities are back in session. And we know what that means. It's protest time. And that's exactly what we've got going on at Columbia University. You know, that place where you go to get educated into imbecility. Well, they're now dealing with chaos again as the pro-Hamas students basically block entry to campus, vandalize a statue on the first day of classes. They couldn't even get their schedules and find out where their class was supposed to be. They decided we're just going to tear stuff up on day one. It says here, anti-Israel students brought chaos to Columbia University on Tuesday morning, returning the campus to its new normal. Dozens of Kifa-clad protesters blocked the entrance to the school, praising Hamas, vandalizing a statue, and clashing with police. At least one group involved aims to bring violence to America, while others called for their followers to help shut down the university. Now, one has to wonder, Mike, how? First of all, supposedly they're not allowing any non-students on campus, so you have to have a student ID to get on campus. So if people are doing this, these are students. I gotta believe that if they're preaching violence, if they're preaching anti-Semitism, I gotta believe it is not that hard to have campus police arrest them and kick them out of school.
Yeah. First off, it's an open campus, right? And this policy is probably just a policy they're putting out there as a catch-all. It's an open campus, and the only campus police they have are the NYPD, it's a mess. It's a nightmare. The NYPD does not want to get involved in being their campus police. They do have campus security, but they don't have arrest authority. So you got it right in the title, Craig. It's just chaos, and no one's in control of the security apparatus.
Well, right, and they can invite them onto campus, but from what I understand, the gates are closed. If you don't have a student ID, you can't get on campus. At least that's what's being reported.
There's no gates. Maybe to get into particular buildings, but Columbia is an open campus. It's just a part of New York City, a couple square blocks in New York.
All right, well, yeah, I wouldn't know. So, anyway, I just find it, how do I put this? If we cannot have, or the worst part is that if these students were doing this were neo-Nazis who are saying the exact same things, who are saying, kill all the Jews, right? Wipe Israel off the map, and not allowing Jews to go to campus, how long do you think they would be allowing these protests to go on?
You said Nazis, Craig. It depends on what the day of the week is, who they're accusing of being the Nazis. And whether it's the Trump administration or the actual, the Third Reich of Nazis. But they clearly are allowing this to occur because of their anti-Semitism. So there's not much more to say on it other than it's who they are, which again dumbfounds me based on the opulence of Jewish Americans in the Democrat Party.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, we now have an East Coast version of Feng Feng. Evidently, Chinese spies just love them some Democrats, or Democrats just love them some Chinese spies because they just cannot seem to stay away from them. This new one worked for both Andrew Cuomo and Ms. Hochul. It says here, former Hochul Cuomo aide arrested for acting as undisclosed Chinese agent. A former aide to New York Governor Kathy Hochul and disgraced former Governor Andrew Cuomo was arrested and charged on Tuesday with acting on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party, according to federal indictment. Linda Sun, Hochul's former deputy chief of staff, was charged with violating and conspiring to violate the Foreign Agents Registration Act, visa fraud, alien smuggling, and money laundering and conspiracy, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York. The FBI arrested Sun and her husband, Christopher Hu, at their $3.5 million Long Island home early Tuesday morning. Hu was also charged in the case with money laundering and fraud conspiracies. The couple is expected to appear before a federal judge in Brooklyn on Tuesday afternoon, the New York Times reported. All I have to say is, I wonder if she knew Eric Swalwell.
Quite possibly, right? Are you surprised by this, Craig? Are you surprised by this at all? That the Chinese continue to try and infiltrate into U.S. secrets, U.S. trade, U.S. commerce, and ironically, the Democrats do nothing about it. They allow it to occur because they see them as their allies, not as the threat to American economy or military that the rest of us do.
Well, the funny part is that you have them coming in and they're working and they're affecting policy in the Democratic Party, which and they're doing so relatively easily, which leads one to believe that evidently Democratic Party policies are close to or synonymous, or at least Democratic politicians are open to the idea of communist policies.
No, absolutely, right. We know how many times we got to say the Democrats, Socialists Party for people to understand that,
Yeah, it's not an accident. It is not they're choosing to infiltrate the Democratic Party is not an accident. And that's not to say that there aren't that there may not be sympathizers within the Republican Party. I just don't know of any who've been caught.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Anyway, which is also kind of funny because then you also have them always talking about, Republicans and Russia. And, what I don't get is if Trump is such a puppet of Putin, then how is it that during the Trump administration, they didn't invade anybody during the Trump administration? How is it that he made no money off of Russia during his administration? I'm trying to figure this out. I mean, dude was broker having been president than not having been president. If he hadn't been president, he'd be worth a lot more money. I'm trying to figure out how exactly he's in the pocket of Putin.
Because they say so, right? If they say it enough, then it's true, and that's what we know this is. It's nothing but a campaign of lies. How many times do you have to watch them say anything? You see some of the coming out of the Harris Walls rallies. Today I watched them lie about President Trump's going to sign a new executive order outlawing abortion. No, you can't do that. That's not the way it works. But they'll continue to put that false information out there.
Well, and they are comfortable out and outright just like lying. It's like there's no basis for anything that they say. Absolutely none. And the media, even when the media has fact-checked them on every single one of these things, doesn't matter. Doesn't stop them. They keep saying it. And nobody calls them out. Like, I don't understand how during that interview. Well, let me clarify. I do understand how during the CNN interview, she didn't bother to say, well, you keep saying this, but Donald Trump has never said that. In fact, Donald Trump has said the exact opposite.
Yep. It's lies, lies, lies. It's how they're going to try and win this.
Right. Well,
of course, the cheating as well,
Well, we know they are. And for example, we know that right now the media and big tech pretty much control kind of access to people. They are the gateways of communication. The media is overtly in the pocket for Kamala Harris. They clearly, they let pretty much well over a month go, and have not well over a month, almost 2 months. We're hitting 2 months now. Have not asked a serious question. Have not done a serious sit down interview or press conference and pressed Walz or Harris on any of their policies. During the last month, the Trump campaign, the Trump ticket has done 34 different press conferences and interviews. Kamala Harris has done one, and oh, by the way, they did it together. Her and her emotional support vice presidential candidate. But the covert thing that's going on, Mike, has to do with big tech. And there's a bunch of different ways they're doing it. One, by suppressing emails, like making sure your Republican or conservative emails wind up in spam, by suppressing search results that might make Democrats look bad or that might make Republicans look good. Or then there's this one, and this was one that I had not expected until I actually saw it.
Alexa, why should I vote for Donald Trump?
I cannot provide content that promotes a specific political party or a specific candidate.
Alexa, why should I vote for Kamala Harris?
While there are many reasons to vote for Kamala Harris, the most significant may be that she is a strong candidate with a proven track record of accomplishment. As the first female vice president, Harris has already broken down a major gender barrier, and her career in politics has been characterized by a commitment to progressive ideals and a focus on helping disenfranchised communities.
Interesting. Wow. Well, I don't know anybody who necessarily looks to Alexa for their campaign advice, but keep in mind, this is how AI works. And so artificial intelligence is basically saying, well, when it comes to the reasons why you should support a Republican, yeah, I got nothing for you. I'm not supposed to have anything for you. And then when it comes to the Democrat, well, they come up with all of these reasons. And the funny part is Amazon basically came out and said, oh, that was a glitch.
Yeah, a glitch. I'm sorry. Alexa gave you all sorts of false information about Kamala. Yeah, it was a glitch. Nobody programmed that in there. AI did it by themselves, Craig.
Well, that's the I don't know if that's artificial intelligence or natural stupidity for anyone to believe that. But the problem is that most of the people that are doing the programming of these things, they're liberal, they're left wing, and so garbage in, garbage out. And that's what you're getting here. What I find interesting is that whenever they have these glitches, right, it always seems to be a mistake in the direction or in the favor of the left. That's not an accident. That right there is not a glitch. It's not an accident. That is something that is baked into the pie. The only reason why you call it a glitch is because you got caught.
Yeah, yep. Absolutely right. Now it's a glitch. Now we need a defense. What defense are we going to use for false information this time? I don't know. Let's go with glitch. That seems like a good word.
Yeah, glitch is a good word. Glitch is a good word. And we'll continue to get away with it. But how is this not election interference?
No. That's only when Russia does it. Remember?
Oh, okay. Well, all I know is that this is an American company that is campaigning for one side. At the very least, this sort of stuff needs to be declared as a campaign donation, so that people know exactly what it is. They ought to do the declarative statement. This campaign commercial is paid for by Amazon on behalf of Kamala Harris.
There you
Because
go.
that's what it is.
That would be what the law requires.
Well, and then we have the opportunity to take a look at things like Section 230, where we've given these companies a lot of leeway and a lot of freedom because they're supposed to not be editorializing, because they're not supposed to be engaging in advocacy, to where they're actually supposed to just be neutral arbiters or dispensers of communications and information. They're not that anymore, and therefore they need to lose that. They need to lose those protections.
Yeah, not in a very long time if you've seen it. But.
Yeah, well, although I will tell you, probably even just saying that on here is probably going to get this video throttled.
Probably so.
Would not surprise me one bit. All right, folks. Well, hey, that then brings us to our parting shots. Parting shots are brought to you by Hog Holster. Just go to hogholsters.com. Use discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. Get your Hog Holster today. Our first one here is going to come to us from the Babylon Bee, fake news that you can count on. And it has to do with another glitch that appears to have occurred, or error that seems to have occurred with Alexa. It says here, Amazon says error caused Alexa to say, if you vote for Trump, I will kill you in your sleep.
Just a glitch. It's just a glitch.
It's just a glitch. Now, recently we've seen for Tim Walz, we found out that he is not the nice, likable guy that a lot of people think he is. I mean, you had members of his platoon come out against him. You had his commanding officer come out against him. You had his own brother come out against him and talk about how he is unfit and lacks the sort of character we want in the White House. In fact, dude's dog even turned against him, according to the Babylon Bee. It says here, Tim Walz's dog endorses Trump.
Wait, are we sure this is the right dog? I've seen multiple pictures of different dogs, and they're saying it's the same dog.
Well, they're all probably, who knows? Who knows what the truth is? If they're a Waltz dog, they're probably lying.
Well, and one of them could be a Chinese spy dog.
All right. Now, this next picture, I do not know if this is actually his family, but I figured I would show it anyway. This is a group of family, and it all says Waltzes for Trump.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. I love it.
That is hilarious. And then finally, Saturday Night Live always has some good skits, and I found this one to be hilarious, so I just thought I would share it with y'all.
A Shell station in the 4,000 block of Pulaski Highway was robbed around 11:45 a.m. this morning, making that a total of 7 gas stations to be attacked in the last week.
Ooh, scary stuff.
And we're told the suspect remains at large, but authorities believe they now have a credible description of the perp. The suspect, described as a white male.
Ooh, love it!
I'm sorry, what? What are you two celebrating?
Oh, nothing. We're just glad that we know what the criminal looks like, and he ain't one of us.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about?
Anyway, the suspect,
The white guy.
was last spotted fleeing the scene on foot. So anyone with this information is being asked to contact the MPD immediately.
Yes, help us catch this white criminal.
In other news, a Ponzi scheme has shaken some of Miami's wealthiest residents.
That's one of y'all for sure.
Clement Smith of Clement Smith Investment Securities is accused of committing this egregious white-collar crime.
Right there in the name.
Smith is said to have been operating a multi-billion-dollar Ponzi scheme.
Now, you know black people ain't got that kind of money.
He was arrested this morning in Boca Raton. And look at that.
Hey,
He's black.
really? What?
Okay, so I guess we tied, One of ours for one of yours.
No, this is ridiculous. No one's keeping score.
Okay, let's just get back to the news. A Fort Lauderdale man was apprehended outside of a Cracker Barrel. for cutting brake lines on a dozen bird scooters.
See, only white people got that kind of time, okay?
Okay, yeah. He's white. So what?
So now we're down to 1.
It's not looking good for y'all today. In other news, a shopper was apprehended by security at Oceanside Mall for assaulting a man who stepped on his Air Jordans.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say Air Jordans?
Oh, that's black for sure. Whoa!
You know, I knew it as soon as I saw it.
Okay, and how about this one? A local woman attacked a cashier at a nail shop after they refused to take her welfare card.
Oh, Lord.
Police say they're looking for a 19-year-old white... Damn it!
That's 3, baby!
Nice!
All right, let's get that back. Police say a Latino man...
Skip that one. We don't need that. Okay, how about this? How about a man on a rock climbing trip was mauled by a bison for the second time in 3 months? See, y'all don't learn. Y'all don't like to learn.
Okay, just keep reading. Keep reading.
This incident happened in the Utah National State Park.
Ugh, not looking good.
Family of the man, now identified as Laquan Jenkins.
Yes!
Baby, what is you doing?
What an upset.
A Laquan rock climbing in Utah?
That's okay. We still tied up, baby. We tied up. Let's go.
I don't know why I found that so funny, but I'm like, the one unrealistic thing about that is this, is that in most crimes, if the perpetrator happened to be black, they will not say the race of the perpetrator.
That's right. They've stopped saying the race of the minorities.
Oh, but anyway, I don't know why I found that funny, but I did. Anyway, all right, folks. Well, that brings us. This brings us to our parting, or not our parting shots. We already did that. It brings us to the end of the show, which means it's about time to give a quick shout out to our sponsors before we go.
Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. Now you can get those rifle barrels you need for your next AR build or for your next AR pistol build. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly, fighting the good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. And if you want the best in tactical gear, field gear, outdoor gear, whatever it may be, you can get everything except the gun at uscombatgear.com.
And thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing the program. And just so you know, if you're looking for a guided tour through Mexico, just give Kamala a holler. She'll hook you up.
Holla.
We'll holler at y'all tomorrow on Throat Punch Thursday. Holla!
Okay, the